Hello, Outlaws. Welcome again. I am the Obsidian Seraph with another message. Your spirit is under attack. Not in some dramatic way, movie scene way, quietly, daily, systematically. Outlaws, you need to hear this clearly because most people don't even realize it's happening. They think they're just tired, just stressed, just going through it. No. You're being drained on a spiritual level. Look at the patterns, the constant noise, the endless comparison, the subtle pressure to be everything at once. Rich, attractive, popular, successful, entertaining, even perfect. All while your soul is starving. That's not an accident. That's by design. Because a distracted person is a disconnected person. And a disconnected person is easier to control. Outlaws, understand this. The moment you lose connection with your spirit, you start living on autopilot. You wake up without purpose. You move without direction. You chase things you don't even care about. And you wonder why nothing feels fulfilling anymore. It's because you're out of alignment, not broken, misaligned. There's a difference. Because broken means it's over. Misaligned means it can be corrected. But correction requires awareness, Outlaws, and awareness requires silence. That's why silence feels so uncomfortable right now. Because when it gets quiet, the truth gets loud. You start realizing things, how much time you've wasted, how much energy you've given to nonsense, how far you've drifted into who you're supposed to be and what you really are at the moment. And most people, they run from that. The moment they grab their phone, they turn something on, they call somebody, anything to drown it out. Because facing yourself requires strength. But Outlaws, we don't run from that, do we? We step into it. Because that discomfort, that's not punishment. That's a signal. That's your spirit saying, wake up. You ever notice how everything pulling you away from growth is easy? Endless scrolling, cheap validation, lust, distraction, instant gratification, Instagram. All of it requires nothing from you. No discipline, no patience, no restraint. But everything that builds you, on the other hand, requires a little bit of effort, doesn't it? Prayer, focus, training your body, controlling your impulses, sitting still when your mind still wants to run. That's not coincidence, that's a battle. And make no mistake, it is a battle. Not against other people, but against yourself, against your lower habits, against your weaker instincts, against the weaker version of you that chooses comfort over calling. That's the enemy. And most people let that version win every single day. Not because they're incapable, but because they're undisciplined. And discipline is spiritual. People think discipline is just physical. Wake up early, work out, eat right. No. That's just surface level. Real discipline is internal. It's saying no when nobody's watching. It's controlling yourself when negativity creeps in. It's choosing truth when lies feel better. That's spiritual strength. And without it, you drift. You become reactive, emotional, easily influenced. You start living based on how you feel instead of what you know is right. And feelings, they change. That's why so many people are unstable now. Up one day, down the next. Motivated in the morning, lost by the evening. Because they're led by emotion, not anchored in something deeper. Outlaws, you need an anchor, something solid, something that doesn't move when everything else does. For me, that's God. For some, it starts with truth. But either way, you need something higher than your impulses, because your impulses will absolutely betray you. They'll tell you to quit, to indulge, to take the easy path. Every time, that's their nature. So if you follow them blindly, you'll end up lost. But if you learn to control them, now you're dangerous. Because now, you're not easily shaken, not easily distracted, manipulated. And that's rare. That's powerful. Not perfection, alignment. Not height, control, clarity. So here's what you do. You start small, but you start serious. You start to carve out time where nothing gets in, right? No phone, no distraction, just you and something real, like prayer, reflection, reading the truth, sitting in silence, meditation, nature. And at first, your mind will fight you hard. You'll feel restless, irritated, distracted. That's the resistance. That's the part of you that's been in control for far too long. It's losing its grip, and that's good. Let it struggle, because every moment you don't give in, you get stronger, not physically, spiritually, and that's strength. It carries into everything, your decisions, your focus, your relationships, your purpose. You stop moving like everyone else. You stop chasing noise. You start walking with intention, and that's when things change. Not overnight, but undeniably. You begin to feel grounded, clear, focused, like you're actually in control of your life again. That's what people are missing, outlaws. Control. They've outsourced it to algorithms, to opinions, to emotions. And they don't even realize it, but you do. Now you do. So now the question is simple. What are you going to do with that awareness? Because once you see it, you can't pretend you don't. You either step up or you slide back into the noise. There's no neutral, not anymore, outlaws. This is your moment, not to be perfect, but to be intentional, to take your mind back, take your soul back, to realign your spirit, to stop living on autopilot, to start moving with purpose, because the world doesn't need more distracted people. It doesn't need more noise. It needs more people who are awake, focused, disciplined, grounded, people who can stand firm when everything else is chaotic. Be that. Move like that. Live like that. And watch how different your life becomes. Outlaws, stay sharp. The signal never dies. I am the Obsidian Seraph. And we work in the darkness to serve the light. Until next time.